Oh, yeah, the good old USA. Greatest country in the history of the world, right here. Right? So they say. What do we got here? That's the heartland of America. You know, where people have a lot of heart, a lot of good Christian people. Got a lot of heart, these people in the heartland. Well, and since my dad's family went to church all the time, they should be really, people with just a lot of heart, in the heartland. You got to have a lot of heart in the heartland, don't you? There's been two or three times in my early childhood where Dennis Zoglman did something that should have resulted in my mom divorcing him and her and whatever other relatives on either side getting me away from him and him getting being encouraged or forced to get some kind of therapy to pull his head out of his ass or something like that. So here we are in the heartland. This is the heartland right here. Look at this. It's Main Street, America, baby. There it is. Got the busy highway, the artery of America, crisscrossed with the Main Street, America. There it is, baby. Hayesville, Indiana. All right. But none of those people did that. On my dad's side, I was the only grandchild for 20 years. I was 20 years old when my dad's sister had a baby. I was the only grandchild for 20 years on my dad's side. They had one kid. One kid to look out for. There's the old general store. That's where one of the taverns used to be. Yeah, one of the saloons. Another store. Used to be a grocery store when I was a kid. Now it's a flea market thing. Anyways, one of those churches where people of the heartland got a lot of heart. So anyways, I don't know where in the heck I was. I was like 5 years old. I think 5 or 6. I seem to remember I was short enough to be standing on the seat of the pickup truck on a Ford F-150. So I would guess you're 5 or 6 at that age. I was kind of a normal sized kid, but I could be off on the age. But I was a little boy. Let's just put it that way. I don't know how this all came together. I don't remember what happened. I suspect I was at my mom's sister's house, Sandy, near Hayesville, and she might have been babysitting for me. I think my mom might have been working at a factory in Jasper. My dad's mom, Bernie, they lived in Jasper on Church Avenue, the Holy Family area down over there on south side of Jasper. So I think what the deal was that night we were all supposed to meet at Bernie's so they could all sit around the table and drink beer and eat food and play cards while I crawl around on the floor bored with the dog. I think I spent a lot of hours in that house, kind of just waiting for grown-ups to get done playing cards, stuff like that. So this was our house, our driveway. So I think what happened was my dad was bumping around, the old man, I should say. I, I guess he was out with his drinking buddies. I don't know where he was, if he was in a tavern or driving around. And I think he picked me up at Sandy's place. And we were supposed to meet my mom at my dad's mom, Bernie's house. We were at our house here, right here, me and the old man, and my mom is going. She's at Bernie's house. She's getting off work and gonna be in there, so we're all gonna meet there. It's getting kind of toward dark, summertime, and the old man is drunk, bad drunk. I mean blind drunk, out of his mind drunk. And I'm standing on the seat of the pickup truck. If he did pick me up from Sandy's, I mean, these are all people that like recklessly let kids ride around with drunks, so, it wouldn't surprise me. Both sides of my family were like, just sort of disregard for kids' well-being and safety in a big way. It's weird. These are weird people. I don't understand people that don't look out for kids. I don't have kids, but I can't imagine if I did, I would act like these people. But anyways, I don't know how it all came together, but I do know me and the old man were here at our house, and we're going to Bernie's house. And I'm in the pickup, standing on the seat. The old man's driving, and he's driving, Ford F-150 or whatever it was. I don't know what year that model he had. Four-wheel drive truck, I guess. So we pull out of the driveway, and we're going down the road like this. And again, it's kind of dark. It's kind of evening dark. And we get along about in here. As we go past this gas station, I think at the time there was the guy that ran it, maybe owned it. I don't know. I think he was, I don't know if he was a Korean guy. People older than me would remember this a little better and maybe know something about it. Anyways, he's running the station. And as we drive past the station, the old man, I think the guy was in the building. I don't think he was outside. The old man imagined that the guy looked at him. The old man gets up about here with his pickup, and he stops. This is a busy highway. It might not have been busy at that moment. This is not a highway you want to stop on and hang out. He stops his pickup truck, puts it in reverse, and we back. He backs this truck into this island. I don't think that sign was there. He backs his truck down into this island, and he then comes to a stop. He's backing toward the gas station, and he comes to a stop, and he's looking back through the window. He's got his head cranked around, and I'm looking back at whatever he's looking back at. And he's looking back at the gas station, and he growls like an angry growl. And he says, through the back window of the truck. I don't think the guy in the station could hear him, but he's probably looking like, what's this guy doing back? So he backs down in this island, stops, and he's looking back at the gas station, and he says, "What are you looking at, you motherfucker? You son of a bitch." You know, something like that. Maybe he said, "I'll kick your ass," or something like that. And he acts like he's got a serious problem here. Like, maybe I need to get out of this truck and kick this guy's ass. And then he's like, "Okay," and he takes off forward. Like, "Okay, I'll let it go." And he takes off up 231 now. We're going south on 231. But he is so blind, drunk, out of his mind, he's to the point of, I guess, hallucinating, blacking out, and having a hallucination that this guy looked at him funny or something. And we're going up the road. Okay? And I'm standing on the seat. And that's how drunk the old man is, Dennis Zoglman, with his 5, 6, 7-year-old kid, whatever I was, a little bitty boy. And we're going down 231. And I don't think I was scared. I don't recall being scared by any of this, but you're just sort of like stunned, like a deer in the headlights. You know, people that get blind drunk and then they drive and they somehow manage like they're on autopilot. They're out of their mind. They're blind drunk, but somehow they manage to pull it off. How does that work? You know, scientists. Surely some medical scientists study this stuff, I would think. So we're going toward Jasper. Down 231. The old man is blind drunk. Out of his mind. And we're heading toward Bernie's house. Now right here, on this curve here, I don't know if they've changed this curve a lot over the years, if it's still exactly the same place and angle. This is where the old man's brother, Ernie, lost control of his car, and the back end came around, got sideways. He was going north, and the back end of the car came around. They say the road might have been wet, and it just so happens he got near the lane, and another car was coming and went right in the driver's side door and killed the old man's brother and the girl who was with him, and badly hurt the guy in the other car. So we are going, the old man is now blind drunk. This is probably about 10 years after Ernie Zoglman was killed on this curb, and the girl was with him. Now, 10 years later, the old man, his younger brother, is driving blind drunk around this same curve with me, a little boy, on the seat of his truck. And we still got a long way to go. So we're going to town. Well, you know, just the irony of that thing, of that situation, right? Bernie knew the old man, drank, and drove. Her son was killed in an accident. You know, her younger son, Scott, had crashed the shit out of his pickup truck around that time in a drunk driving wreck in Jasper. You know, nobody put their foot down and turned anything off. You know, it's weird, for the benefit of the one and only grandchild. So we're going down through town, going down through here. We're going through whatever stoplights, intersections. And, it's a pretty long little drive. And we're going and going. Right here. And he pulls in the driveway. Right here. And I don't recall how this all came to be, what happened. I mean, I guess he got out, or they seen him and came out and seen him through the window. Anyways, my mom, Bernie, whoever, they were not happy that he was blind drunk and driving with me. I guess I would say, looking back, is what did you people expect? He had kind of shown you he wasn't a very responsible, trustworthy guy, and now you're trusting him with the drive around your kid, and would trust him years beyond this. So I think there was, I think Bernie decided to get emotional about it, boo-hoo, and whatever. My mom probably was fussing a little bit or something, or kind of like, yeah, see how he is. But nothing became of it. Nobody called the cops and turned his ass in. That's what they should have done. I'm not a big guy when it comes to calling the cops. I don't like the fuckers. But when you got a guy putting a child's life at risk, that's the time to call the cops. Because maybe if the dumb asshole gets in some legal trouble, maybe he'll pull his head out of his ass. Maybe not. But this is one of those times when my mom should have said, okay, I'm going to put together a plan. I'm going to get a divorce. I'm going to get child support. I'm going to, we're going to go to court and say, hey, my kid can't be with him. He pulls this shit. He put his life at risk, drunk driving. The whole deal. Get something going. Get it going. But they didn't do anything. Just like when he threw the cat through the window when I was like 5 or 6 years old. That right there should have been, okay, we're done. We're packing up and leaving. And you're not going to be around this kid anymore. Getting a divorce. I'm going to move back in with my mom and dad. Or we're going to get an apartment. Or we're going to figure out a money situation. And you're going to pay child support. And that's it. It's over. The whole, you're the dad in the house, that's over. Done. You blew it. You had your chance, and you threw the house pet through the window. You don't get a second chance. That's over. Or in this case, you drove several miles out of your mind, blind drunk, with the little kid on the seat. You don't get a second chance. That's over. That's done. Maybe if you go to therapy or something and you prove yourself for the next 10 years and the kid's a little older, maybe then you get a little chance. If you got your head out of your ass. But if you're still a slopping drunk or a defiant dick, no, you don't get a second chance. You just keep paying child support. That's what happens. That's what should happen. If you're a parent and you put a kid's life at risk like that, you go from being a parent who has physical contact to now you're just a check that comes in every month. You're a child support check. That's all you are. You don't get access anymore. When you screw up like that and you behave like that, you don't get a second chance, at least not for many years. That's how it should be. And if these people gave a shit about me, that little boy, that's what they would have put in motion. But these are irresponsible assholes who all want to hide behind the Bible. Their shield from the truth is the Bible. These are scumbags who, the Bible is there for them. The Bible's not there so they can learn what God wants them to do. It's there for them to hide behind. It's a shield for them and their shitty behavior, their unethical behavior. So that is the craziest, I think, blind drunk driving with me in the truck that I can recall. Now, for years after this, I rode in the truck, the old man with his truck when he was drunk, a million times through my teen years and beyond, whatever. 10 years old, 12, 15, on and on. So he never had a reason to change his. He never could pull his head out of his ass like, gee, I really screwed up. He's not man enough to do that. And none of these assholes, my mom, his brother, his sister, none of these fucking assholes, these loser fucking deadbeat assholes, ever stepped up and said, hey, we're not doing this shit. There's no heroes in this story. There's no fucking heroes in my childhood story at all. Nobody stepped up. I could have been I could have been killed in a drunken crash many times when I was a kid. So there you go. Dennis Zoglman and his family, a bunch of fucking loser, do-nothing assholes that never did anything to protect kids. And my mom, same deal. And her side, same deal. Her sisters, her mom and dad. Now, they weren't tuned in to all this stuff. I get it. But they should have been. The fact that my mom's dad sat there in his chair staring at the TV and didn't make it his business to know how things were going with me, that makes him a fucking loser. Okay? You got to get out of the chair once in a while and tune in. You got to turn off that TV when you're a grandparent or a parent, and you got to tune the fuck in to reality of what the fuck's going on with your grandkid or your child. Okay, you can't just sit there and go in a dreamland with the situation comedies and the game shows. You got to pull your head out of your TV and get in the real world where your kid lives. All right?